Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone. Our today's session is about the course learning outcomes, program learning outcomes, and knowledge learning outcomes in order to develop a curriculum or a course for a BS program or master program. We will discuss the basic concepts of course learning outcomes, knowledge learning outcomes, and program learning outcomes. In this presentation, what are the course learning outcomes? Basically, they are the fundamental units for any course, the fundamental objective to achieve at the end of the course. Then we will discuss the program learning outcome. The program learning outcome, these are the outcomes or the objective which are required to achieve at the end of a program. For example, master programs or BS programs or any diploma degree program. Then we will discuss the knowledge learning outcome. Knowledge learning outcomes, basically knowledge. The student must be capable of presenting theoretical and practical knowledge at this stage. So they must have knowledge, this knowledge at that level. Then we will also discuss the integration of PLOs, CLOs, and KLOs, how they are integrated, how they are interlinked with each other. What are the course learning outcomes? Basically, the course learning outcomes are basically specific skills and knowledge students are expected to acquire by the end of particular course. So, for example, we have a course Introduction to Linguistics, we have a course Calculus, we have course like discourse analysis, or we have any course. For example, in networking, in computer, or any. So we have to set these learning outcomes are the basic set of goals that are required to achieve at the end of completion of the course. If we discuss the example from the Introduction to Linguistics, so after completing this course, student will be able to analyze phonetic structure of the English language. So BS level course Introduction to Linguistics student, when they are completing the course, they must have this level of the knowledge, and they should achieve. So the example, for example, if we take from the engineering field, student will be able to apply differentiation technique to solve real world optimization problem. For this example from the calculus course, so student may be able, not maybe, student will be able. So we will use clear action verbs for to achieve the course learning outcomes. Then we will move to the next slide, which is program learning outcomes. Program, we have different programs: BS programs, master programs, degree or diploma programs. So for that purpose, at the end of the program, student must be capable of doing this. So, for example, a subset of learning outcome focusing on theoretical and factual knowledge student must gain in course or program. So, when the student complete a course, he must have theoretical and practical knowledge, so he can choose or apply it in the field. If we take the example from Introduction to Linguistics course, so graduate will be able to critically evaluate, interpret literary text using various theoretical framework. So at the end of the program, student must be able to present this as a level of knowledge. If we take the example from the scientific field, so the student will understand the fundamental theorem of calculus and their application. So student will be able or capable of doing all these tasks. Let's move to the knowledge learning outcome. Actually, knowledge learning outcome is a set of skills that and competencies the student must represent at the end of the course and at the end of the program. Broad competency and skills students should develop after completing the entire program. Yes, so student must be able to represent their knowledge at this stage. The example of the knowledge is student will demonstrate knowledge of key linguistic theories and their application in real world context. So student at the end of BS course should have such knowledge that he can represent. The example from the engineering field, graduate will be able to apply mathematical reasoning to analyze and solve engineering problem. So student will have not will yes student must have that kind of knowledge, and he should represent that with certain level of knowledge at this stage. The characteristics of CLOs, PLOs, KLOs, and important points are the CLOs are course specific. They are related to one course and they are aligned with program learning outcome. For example, the BS course will be aligned with the BS program, and the master's courses will be aligned with the master's program. So whenever you are going to develop this course, the course learning outcome, so we must keep in mind about the alignment of course learning outcome with the program. Also, it should focus on skills, knowledge, or competencies. Yes, the course should have three aspects: skills, knowledge, and competencies. uh, then we will discuss the characteristics of program learning outcome. The program learning outcome align with institutional goal. For example, the ministry's goal or the institution goal at the BS level, the student will be able to achieve the certain goal. So we should keep in mind to develop program learning outcome. Should ensure all our academic and professional growth. Yeah, when we develop or we are mean constructing PLOs, so to ensure that the PLOs, program learning outcome, should be academic and professional growth. They are aligned with professional. For example, a student is passing BS program, so he should be able to have employability. He should have enough knowledge to cope with the professional field. So integrate multiple courses. PLO, program learning outcome, as we mentioned, it is the entire program. So it should integrate multiple courses, all the courses in the program. The KLOs, knowledge and learning outcome, when we develop or you are developing a knowledge learning outcome, so it's emphasize fundamental and applied knowledge, like theoretical and practical. Both knowledge should be considered. Complement skill-based CLOs and PLOs, often linked to exam, research, or academic writing. So student will be able to perform such exams, to perform research in the field, and should be competent enough for academic writing. The important things about developing the learning outcomes, ensure each CLO is linked to specific assignment, quiz, projects, and measure the learning outcome. For example, student learning speaking skills, so they should CLO should be linked with presentation. If writing, so writing assignments and writing essay paragraphs, or writing papers, or writing thesis. So by the end of this course, student will be able to use action verbs, not like action verbs. Not student might be student understand. No, student will identify action verbs. So we have to achieve the goal. So using action verb. Why are these outcomes important? So sometimes everything has its value. So why do we develop these outcomes? So like course learning outcome, program learning outcome, or knowledge learning outcome, ensure structured curriculum development. The first thing, important thing, is that to develop any curriculum, so these outcomes are important. Secondly is to improve student learning and assessment. So for student learning and assessment, if we don't have clear targets or goal in mind, a teacher or an institution, so the assessment and learning process may not be measured that effectively. So it is necessary for student improvement. Why are these outcomes? So align education with national and international accreditation standard. So sometimes like we have national and international accreditation standard, not sometimes, always we have those. Like in Saudi Arabia we have NC AAA, and so international standard to meet with the need of international standard. So these learning outcomes are important to make the institute or course global. Enhance employability and real world application. So for the sake of enhancing, for example, a student passing BS or masters in English linguistics, in engineering, computer, so he should be prepared enough according to the learning outcome that he should get the employability. So he should apply these knowledge and skill in the real field of life. So these learning outcomes are important in all these aspects. Then we will discuss the aligning CLOs, PLOs, and KLOs in a course design. To design any course, we have some certain steps. How to align all these CLOs, PLOs, and KLOs. The step one: define course objective and link to PLOs. The basic the fundamental thing in each learning outcome is the course. Course like introduction to linguistic, introduction to engineering, and introduction to any field of life. So define, first thing is clearly define the objective of the course. Then develop CLO with clear action verbs. Action verb we use: student will be able, student will identify, student will. So not student might be, student may be, or student can understand. No, not the understanding, but the achievement of the goal with action verb. Step 3 is identify KLOs to support CLOs and PLOs. I mean, knowledge learning outcome should support course learning outcome and program learning outcome. So they should be integrated, they should be aligned, they should. So knowledge, for example, for course introduction to linguistics, the course thesis writing. So the basic thing is the certain level of knowledge and skill for the students. Step 4 is align assessment and teaching strategies. For each CLO, for example, if it is thesis writing course and CLO is student analytical skill or critical skill, so it should be aligned. How do we assess by the paper writing, research projects, or exams, quizzes, something assessment and teaching strategies. How are these courses taught? For example, through lectures, they are taught through discussions, conceptual questions, or different teaching strategies. If we let's move to an example of thesis writing course. So here is the thesis writing course. The code, for example, is 1.1 course learning outcome. Demonstrate knowledge of various research method technologies, identify data collection technique, data analysis, critical interpretation. So this one, student must have knowledge of all these basics. So this is course learning outcome. It should be aligned with the CLO, aligned with program. Yes, there is given in the university like quality the documents in knowledge, what level of knowledge student should have at that level. Teaching strategies used for these for this course learning outcome, for example, lecture, research methodology, presentation, and assessment. How are the student assessed? By writing a research paper or doing a research project. Then how CLOs, PLOs, and KLOs are aligned. For example, this is the example from the CEFR B1 level students, foundation year English student. So course learning outcome for the first one is vocabulary. The student will demonstrate, expand the word effectively for its word level. Then knowledge. So student should understand the main point, clear and standard input, familiar matter, regular encountered in work. So student at this level should know the basic vocabulary of the, so knowledge, this is level of knowledge. Then program, or at the end of the program, at the end of the year when student is completing the program, he should deal with the situation like vocabulary, everyday use, basic use. If we take example from thesis writing, so student like at the end of the program, student should implement the things or practically apply the knowledge in the field. Here we have, for example, we are talking about employability and national and international standard. For example, we take the BS students knowledge. So a student who is passing BS English course, so knowledge, his knowledge should be basic knowledge of linguistic, literature, translation, and research. So a standard attribute. So what is the he should be enable enough to perform in the field, advanced knowledge of concept, method of analysis, and theoretical framework in English language and science and its literature, enable them to have practical understanding of the language and how to use it in different life situation. So the knowledge should be make him able enough, so he should apply this knowledge in the field. So this now, for example, the BS graduate in the market employability, he is capable of being a teacher, being a trainer. If we discuss the second concept of knowledge, display adequate effective knowledge of four skills of grammar in English. So you should understand this. For this knowledge is required in the market, like teacher, content writer, freelancer, media, and journalist. So this knowledge. This is all for the presentation. If you have question and answer, you can post. This is my basic information. And if you want to join or connected on LinkedIn or social media, you can stay connected. And these are the references that has been the presentation has been prepared. Thank you so much.